Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. Today I'm checking out the WVR3 by VR-Tek. So this is a cheapo headset that's available from Walmart. I picked it up in a bundle deal with a Steam VR gift card and a Bluetooth controller. It's a gamepad, very similar to an Xbox gamepad or PlayStation gamepad. Works fine, comes with a little Bluetooth dongle as well. So overall, for $45, I got a $20 Steam gift card, a gamepad, and I don't know, maybe a free headset. Anyway, why this headset is so cheap? Well, it's a 3-DOF headset, so that means while it can look up, look down, look to the sides, moving forward or backward does nothing. It's very similar to the Gear VR, the Daydream View, and the Oculus Go in that manner. But it still can be a pretty immersive experience. This particular model, the WVR3, has IPD, manual adjustment across the bottom here. These don't show anything in the display, so it's all by trial and error, whatever is comfortable for your eyes. It's also got a headphone jack here. The pass-through audio is pretty decent. And on the top, there's a little slide away USB port. So you can expand out to USB for USB audio. I'm also going to try, hopefully sometime in the future, a Leap motion controller on this headset, because that could add some hand tracking, which should be pretty cool. It connects to the PC through 3 ports. So kind of like the Oculus Rift in that manner. It's got a HDMI port, it's got a USB port for power, and a USB port for data. So it takes up a lot of real estate. I'm using my laptop right now, and with my laptop it takes up 3 ports for that, plus a port for the gamepad. I've just been using my standard Xbox gamepad because I'm used to that one, but the Bluetooth dongle for the gamepad that ships with the WVR3 would also take up the same amount of space. Really surprised at the quality here. It's a 1440 by 1440 panel for each eye, and really brilliant colors. Works really well in headset. The one thing it does have is a little bit of curvature on the sides. Also to note, the software that runs the ties to Steam VR for the headset is called HoloView, and that software requires a few updates before it actually gets it up to speed. If you try running it at the default software without updating the software, and potentially also the firmware version of the headset, depending on how old the version that you were shipped is, it will run at 60 Hertz, which is kind of painful. It's now running between 80 and 82 Hertz, kind of actually similar to the Pimax headsets, which is kind of interesting. And it's a pretty smooth experience. I've played with virtual desktop a little bit. I've run both 2D and 3D content with it, and it works really well there. But I had played a bit of Wardens of the Amber Cage as a demo, just on PC while I wasn't feeling well. I have some chronic sinus issues. And the thing I really like about this headset is inside the headset, it's a very simple 2 lenses and a proximity sensor, memory foam pad, and there's no real technology in there outside of the screens. So it's super lightweight, and that lightweight actually doesn't put the pressure on my sinuses that my other headsets do. So I can play with this probably even if I am ill again, which is tremendous. Now, Wardens of the Amber Cage did not grab me as a PC title. It having a VR mode, though, I decided to jump back in to the demo. Even though the demo is no longer available, it's still in my library, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's pretty immersive in VR. Unfortunately, the audio did not work out real well. I had everything plugged in, was using the audio from the computer's webcam mic, and it was super staticky. So you're going to be listening to some skirmish music from tabletopaudio.com while watching this footage, and I'll be back with my reaction to the game in just a moment. So that was a quick peek at 10 minutes of footage of Wardens of the Amber Cage. I really didn't think it was much of a title. It's fairly simplistic, but it's also fast-paced. So you're shooting those fireballs from your staff at the not super varied enemies. There's 2 enemies plus a boss in the game as far as for that demo. There's definitely a lot more content in the full version of the game, and now that I've played in VR, I may actually pick up the full version of the game. Unfortunately, there's no demo for me to say go check it out, because they have removed that from Steam. But overall, for the WVR3, works very well. As you can see, I was tilting my head and it was working just fine. Usually using my head to aim, actually, in a lot of cases. Turning, I was still kind of using the gamepad a lot just because that's what I was used to. But overall, it was a much better experience in VR than it was outside of VR. And even with a cheap $25 to $45 headset, worked very, very well. I'm excited to use the WVR3 in the future. There's probably not going to be a lot of gameplay audio, though, if I do, because it ties up all the ports, as I mentioned before. But it worked surprisingly well. I've now used it for about an hour and a half, and it's working great. I don't have any type of shimmer or motion sickness or anything of that nature from it. So if you have a Walmart, if you don't have any form of VR, you're interested in just kind of dabbling with it, and you have a computer, that's another key thing, a computer that can run virtual reality. You need to have, probably for this one, a 980 or higher. Let's actually see, it says 980 or higher. Perfect. So right on the box it says GTX 980 or higher, and I would agree. You don't want to use a 970 or anything lower, because with this headset in particular, it's not as good as the Vive and the Rift at compensating. That said, though, works pretty well, super light. If you're going to be using a headset for just watching movies, if you're going to be using a headset for things that you would use a cell phone based headset for, but you don't have a cell phone, or you don't have a phone that's compatible with VR, maybe you have the, I don't know, iPhone, and you don't want to buy something else. If this goes on sale again, or if you can pick it up on a sale, might not be that bad. It is not perfect. It is not the worst. It took me about 10 minutes to set up. I've seen a lot of complaints about the setup process for the headset, but downloading the drivers, updating them twice, downloading Steam VR, and kind of tying the two together only took about 10 minutes. I was up and running very quickly in the headset, and it works great. Other people have other opinions, and that's totally fine, but I can't discourage the value of this. It's not, like I said, the best headset on earth. I wouldn't say buy this as your daily driver for VR, but if you're only going to be playing things like driving games or sit-down games where you're using a gamepad, it's not the worst thing on earth. It's not the best either, but for the price point, might be worth a shot. The other thing I can tell you is I'm pretty sure Walmart has a pretty good return policy. I worked there for 4 years, a long time ago, and unless it's changed in the past 20 years, pretty safe bet that you could try before without much risk. Like I said, if you have a PC that'll run it, might be worth a try. Either way, hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more content soon on many different headsets, including the WVR3. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.